Hello, welcome back to my channel, Helki Rain. Today I want to talk about my favourites for the month of February. I have some goodies. I think I'm going to start with books. Oh my god, I've got this. Actually, I'm going to start with this top because it's on my list. And my cat is attacking me in this top. There we are. Okay, so he's attacking like this part of this top, but I love this top. I got it from, stop it now. Oh my god. Anyway, I got this pretty top from a second-hand store. So in the UK we call them charity shops, but I didn't actually pick it out myself. My best friend did. She happened to come across this top and she just thought I would love it, and she was right, I do love it. So this is my favourite clothing item from February. Okay, next, books. So my favourite book is this Tea Garden book. So this is sort of my green witch, hedge witch, kitchen witch inspirational read. As you guys know, it's my dream to have my own herbery, which will probably take me a long time to build that up, but this has given me lots of inspiration, lots of knowledge, and yeah, I'm excited to start growing some different tea herbs. Also, I've started this book, I'm almost halfway through it, so I think I'll be finished this in the next couple of days, but I've been really loving this book too. I think this is only released last year. It's sort of based on British herbs, but it talks a lot about folklore, and it's got some really fun little stories in here, things like people used to believe in the past and how they used to use all these different plants and herbs. So it's really interesting if you're into anything like that. I highly recommend this one because, you know, I was laughing at some of the folklores and the stuff they believed. So the other book was a fiction book and it's on my Kindle. This book is called The Tarot Academy by Sarah Piper. I think it's like a 5-book series, and it's kind of like got a romance in there, like a few romantic interests, and it's not like high school either. You might think it is with it being called Tarot Academy. It's more like a uni, so it's like mixed ages. The main character is 23. It's just a really fun read. I couldn't put it down. I finished the first book really quickly. I'm now on to the second. I haven't had much time for fiction reading lately, so I'm looking forward to getting back into that, and I definitely see myself finishing the whole series. I don't really know what else I can say about it other than whole school of witches and mages. It's all based around the tarot, so if you enjoy tarot, which I'm sure you do if you're watching my videos, and especially if you like romance and like, you know, that's my favourite kind of fiction to read, is like fantasy and fantasy romance. So like for my witchy girly girls out there, I do recommend Tarot Academy. For the more mature mind, yeah, it's not going to do anything for you, let's be honest, but for me and apparently my juvenile taste, yeah, I love it. Next thing, I'll talk about something a bit different, and it's these batch. I don't know how people pronounce it. I've heard people pronounce it in all different ways, but I sort of pronounce it Bach flower remedies. And this one is the Star of Bethlehem. Okay, it's not focusing, but just trust me, it's the Star of Bethlehem one. I can't say that this was amazing, it works for me, I love it, because I'm sort of still, I feel like with something like this, it's like drops you need to add to your water every day, and I haven't been consistent with it, and I think you can't really tell if something's benefiting you until you've been consistent with it for like 30 days minimum. So even though I've not been consistent with it, in the sort of week to 2 weeks that I was pretty much consistent with it, I think in that time period I really lifted out of a super low dark place, and I was able to find this like higher perspective, and I had a lot of epiphanies and realizations of like how I was sort of looking at things in the not most helpful way for myself. It's not about saying I've done something wrong by thinking or being or feeling this way. It's acknowledging the feeling but not attaching to it. So I am going to do a video soon about identifying as something and how this can help us, but how it can also not really help us. I definitely shifted out of a certain sticky energy that I was in, and this is really good for like things like grief and like feeling that kind of stuck energy, that low energy, and needing to be lifted out of that. But yeah, do your research on bok flowers and see what resonates for you. Somebody mentioned the Star of Bethlehem one, and I just got such an instant knowing, like I need to try that, and I don't get that often, so I trust it when it comes in that strong. So I wanted to mention it because even though I haven't been consistent with it, and I can't guarantee that that shift in my energy happened because of this, but it was happening around the same time that I was using this, so you know, every little helps, right? So I recently went to Glastonbury. I did some filming, guys, but I didn't film around the shops. What a crime. It was really busy. It was a Saturday, and I didn't actually do a lot of shopping. It was more of a sacred site day. We had a look at the tour. We also found this like secret stone circle. I have minimal footage, but I was thinking of putting together what I can with the footage I have, like another mini Glastonbury vlog, because I know the last one I did almost 2 years ago now. Wow, I know that you guys really enjoyed that. When I did pop into the town though, I had it in my head, I need green spell candles and I need mugwort seeds for my garden back in France, because you can't get hold of mugwort seeds or St. John's wort in France. Like, I tried so hard and I couldn't get hold of them, so I'd be planning on bringing those back with me. I couldn't get St. John's wort, but I could get mugwort, which was the most important one for me to get, because you know me, a girl loves a bit of lucid dreaming, astral projection, visions, and this is the plant to really help with that. So I definitely want to be growing it in my herbery, no doubt. So I was really excited when I went into this really cute new shop in Glastonbury. I was so excited when I found it. The aesthetic is so beautiful. It's like all sort of rustic wood and rope and, you know, natural tones. It's lovely. It's a big giant herb shop. They have jars and jars of herbs. In a way, I really wish I filmed some of the shop, especially that shop, but you know, I didn't, so here we are. All right, this was a little seed kit that they were selling there, so I couldn't just buy the seeds, I had to buy this little kit, but I'm not complaining. It wasn't too bad either. It was £6. I think I get like 20 seeds in here. I'm not sure, it doesn't actually say, so I don't know how many seeds I have in here, but yeah, it's a little mugwort seed kit from Glastonbury, and the shop, sorry, is called Sons of Asgard. So I'm sure you can also buy from their online store. Definitely check them out, Sons of Asgard. Really love their shop, and we was talking to the guys who own it. I assume own it or they work there, and they were so helpful and so informative at helping us find some maybe not so legal plants or fungi or something maybe, and they was very helpful in not being able to sell it of course themselves, but where we could go about that. The next thing will be a food item. I love mochi. I particularly love red bean mochi. It's not the easiest thing to find in the UK and France, but somehow a witch found it. I have to share with you guys my favourite brands so that you're not spending tons of money on all these different mochi brands, because some of them, royal family, brand is really bad, okay? So you really don't want to spend your money, and often the really bad ones are the ones that are most common and they seem to sell them everywhere. Royal Family, stop. Maybe there are some brands that, you know, subpar mochi. In the UK, I managed to find my favourite mochi brand because originally I found it in France. Lots of different mochis, lots of red bean mochis. In the UK, no one really sells red bean mochi apart from bad brands. Guys, like, red bean mochi is the best mochi. If you don't agree, I don't know what planet you're living on, but it's so good. Is it called Yucky and Love? I think it's called Yucky and Love. Let's say that. Okay, but it looks like this. The packaging looks like this, and instead of round mochi, they're like long, sort of finger shaped mochis. And this flavour is the second best flavour. So in the UK, I told you I couldn't find red bean mochi, but this one, which is taro mochi, which is like some kind of like potato, sweet potato, or like, but it's not, it's called taro, it's not potato, but it's like that similar kind of taste as sweet potato. Obviously the best mochi you're ever going to get is going to be fresh homemade mochi, ideally from Japan. I've not been, but I'm guessing it's amazing. But when you're buying shop bought mochi, this is the next best thing, because as you can see, it's got just the perfect, super squidgy. I don't want to squidge it too much because I don't want to eat it right now, but yeah, like super squidgy, delicious mochi. So the texture's right, the taste is just right, and yeah, highly recommend this mochi. But like I said, if you can get red bean flavour, that's the one, and the red bean ones are white. I haven't bought any new decks in February. Most of my decks are in France still. I've been using more of my sister's decks because it happens to be that most of her decks are here in the UK, and she recently got this deck, which is such a fun deck. I've been loving it. This is the Mystic Martian Oracle. It's pretty out there. First thing that's really cool about this deck is the edges. These like bright green edges. And these are the backs. God, the lighting's so bad. I apologise about the bad lighting, guys. It's just like not much I can do here. Here, the cards, they have really cool artwork. Oh my God, if I can even get a good... There we are. So there's aliens, but also like metaphysical stuff. I love the alien ones. I love this deck. Although I always, like, when I first found this deck, I starseed and I was like, oh, I can't wait. Like, I hope I get a Syrian card and, you know, maybe a Pallades card, you know, the ones I feel super connected to. And this is what I got. The tall grey. This is the last one that I got. I was not stoked because I don't know if... I think I spoke about it on this channel, actually. I don't know if I did. But... one of my most memorable astral projection memories was with a tall grey, and it was terrifying. Like, they don't have the most welcoming or friendly energy, very scary beings from my personal experience. So, and then what I read in the book, you know, utilitarian, organised, intimidating are the key words, and intimidating is definitely the perfect key word. And the fact that I've had this experience with the tall greys, and then this is what they've written about them in the book, I feel like these guys are kind of know what they're talking about, and they've written pretty good descriptions. So let's keep looking through here. This is the other card that I pulled, like I remember I pulled it like 2 or 3 times the first time I used this deck, and I was like, hey, like when am I ever going to pull a different card from this deck? Are you for real? Nephilim or Nephilim. God, I'm awful at pronouncing most things, guys. So this one's keywords was controversial, assessing, new perspectives. Controversial. That's such an interesting keyword, right? Not one like I really associate with personally, but the fact that I kept getting this guide, like either I have a past life with these dudes, or I was one, or they're like my main guide is one, who knows, or maybe I'm just controversial as fuck and I don't even know it yet, right? So it's got all the elements, and yeah, like it's a very cool deck. All right, I have really been enjoying this deck, even though it's not mine, so I don't know if it really counts, but it's like my sister's. Let me know if you want me to do a walkthrough of all my sister's decks that she has here, because there's so many. And there was another one of her decks, but she's actually using it right now, that I am loving, that she also bought when she got this recently. So I really do want to do a video on her decks, because I swear she has so many, and half of them are decks I would have brought if she hadn't already bought them and we lived together. So what's the point of me buying them? You know, I can just borrow hers. We're not weird about sharing decks with each other. So that's all the physical stuff that I wanted to show you guys today, but I did want to mention my favourite TV show that I've been enjoying right now, and also my favourite podcast. So currently my favourite podcast is the Soul Tribe podcast. It's run by 2 sisters who both are Akashic record readers. They're just super fun. I love their energy. They always have really interesting podcasts. I can just listen to them talk all day while I'm cleaning and doing stuff around the house. My favourite podcast to listen to right now. I love them, and it's mostly because of the 2 sisters. I think they're called Lorette and Lorena. I could be wrong. Oh no, Lucidia? Oh, I don't know. Soul Tribe podcast, highly recommend. My favourite show that I've been enjoying in February is a really old show, so you've likely already seen it. You've at least seen it as a kid, or maybe you rewatched it as an adult, but it's 2 series. The first series is called Avatar: The Last Airbender. These are like animes, by the way, or cartoons, but they're like an English or American, you know, so it's easy to watch. And then the second series, Legend of Korra. Both series are so good. They're like, if you've not watched them before, they're based around the 4 elements, and people are either like an airbender, a firebender, a waterbender, or an earthbender. But the avatar, there's only ever one avatar in this world living at one time, and the avatar has all 4 bending abilities. I loved both series. If I had to decide which one I loved more, it would be the first series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. But The Legend of Korra is so good too. They're the same world but at different times. So first one is an airbender, is the avatar. He's called Aang. So the second series is based on when Aang has died, and then the new avatar is born, who comes through a waterbender called Korra. And I hope they do more series, but apparently there was like 10 years between these 2 series, so if it's gonna happen, I think it's gonna be a bit of a wait. But what I love is it's such a spiritual show. I know it's sort of made for family or for kids, but wow, there's even like a point where they're going through the chakra system and like healing stuff within. Like, it really reminds you of your own spiritual path, and at the same time it's like based in this really awesome world where people have these awesome abilities where they can bend certain elements to their will. And like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching this series, I was having avatar dreams every night where like I was the avatar, and it was awesome. So if you've not seen it, give it a go. The sun is setting, so I'm now sitting in darkness, and I think that is my cue to end the video. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.